Sabres Hockey on MSG is brought to you by First Niagara, the official bank of the Buffalo Sabres. Labatt Blue Light, the official Canadian import of the Buffalo Sabres. Blue Cross Blue Shield of Western New York. Healthy changes everything. Brought to you by your local Toyota dealer. See where Toyota takes you. Test drive one at your Toyota dealer. Toyota, let's go places. Falls View Casino Resort, the place you want to be. Closed captioning for Buffalo Sabres broadcasts brought to you by Buffalo Hearing and Speech Center, offering programs to improve reading comprehension, language, and vocabulary for children in Western New York.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise and remove your hats to honor the men and women who serve our country. On behalf of Blue Cross Blue Shield of Western New York's Military Appreciation Program, which supports our servicemen and women and their families, we welcome tonight 4 mothers whose sons served in the U.S. Army and were killed in action. Holly Baker lost her son, Specialist Brian Baker, in 2004. Candy Clemens lost her son, Staff Sergeant Sean Clemens, in 2004. Kathy McFarland lost her son, Specialist Albert Jex, in 2009. And Kim Wilson lost her son, Staff Sergeant Billy Wilson, in 2012. We ask that you please pause for a moment to respect our fallen soldiers. Thank you. They stand alongside Doug Allen tonight, who is here to perform O Canada and the Star-Spangled Banner.
O Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all thy sons command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north strong and free. From far and wide, O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. O Canada, we stand on guard for Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Tonight's Sabres game is sponsored by New Era, the official cap of the Buffalo Sabres.
Our starting goaltenders brought to you by Tim Hortons Cafe and Bake Shop. Great tasting food, amazing prices. Never mind the Corsi number, I got a better number for you. How about 6'6"? And that's the height of both goaltenders in tonight's game. That might be an NHL record. Scott Darling will start for the Chicago Blackhawks. And at the other end, of course, it will be again Anders Lindback. in between the pipes for the Buffalo Sabres. This broadcast brought to you in HD by the new Stereo Advantage. See the first LG OLED at the new Stereo Advantage on Worley Drive. Referees, Justin St. Pierre and Tim Peel and Dave Brisebois. And speaking of tall guys, Mike Civic, the other linesman. And he'd be up around the 6'6" mark as well. Maybe Rob Ray can ask him during the evening how tall he is. But he's up there. He's up there as we get it underway from First Niagara Center. And the Hawks bring it in over the line. Hossa swings it to the corner. The shot jammed right at the side of the net and around behind the goal. Recovered by Ennis. Ennis spins it across ice on the wing for Gianta. Gianta feeds it on, and Larson is just a tad offside.
Sabres are going to have to be very careful here tonight. Even though Chicago game last night, traveled in, did not practice this morning. It's a very aggressive hockey team. I watched Seabrook skate around the whole warm-up, going to each and every player on the ice, looking him in the face, giving him a few pads, making sure they're ready for this hockey game here tonight.
And it certainly means something to Chicago as well. Here's the puck in over the Buffalo line. The shot fired wide of the net by Versteeg. Around on the boards, but not out. Now it's spun back, picked up by Strachan. Strachan sending it up the middle. Chipped over on the wing for Ennis. Ennis slides in over the blue line, leaves it there, and Gianta's shot went up a leg wide. Strachan holding it in. Strachan tried to jam it around on the boards, ran into Gianta, who went down, and the Hawks get it back again. And flip it high in the air, and that had to be high because it was over the head of Bogosian and down the ice and coming back icing.
Yeah, RJ, when you talk about the size of goaltenders, 6'6", 215, Anders Lindback. 6'6", 232. That is what Scott Darling is, and he is by far the biggest player on the Chicago Blackhawks hockey team.
That's not hard to believe. Just passed back to the point, but Ristolainen could not hold it in, and Mazzaros tracks it down as the Hawks make the change they could not make on the icing. Fed in over the blue line by Polino, but broken up and chipped back in the other direction, and now brought away by Sharp. Sharp gets it in over the line. Cleared right on Lindback, and he's going to cover up, and he had to because Vermette was heading in his direction.
That'd be a good move on Lindback's part here all night long, just to make sure if he can freeze the puck, freeze it, because that's how the Chicago Blackhawks are going to make their hay here. They're going to rotate the puck. They're going to continue to have good puck control in the offensive zone. They do not like turning the puck over, and they will not just throw it away to give it back to the Buffalo Sabres to go and regroup and come back again. So you're going to literally have to go knock them off and take the puck away from them.
Tipped by Ristolainen behind the net, but too far from Mazzaros. Hawks keeping it in. Now slides to an open wing and is taken by Polino, who gets it on to center ice. Brought in over the blue line, and Delorier couldn't control it. Goes after it again as he bumps with Oduya along the boards. Came out in front, shot wide of the Chicago goal. Kept in by Delorier, at least momentarily. Now flipped out to center, but Ristolainen breaks it up. Brought on in over the line by Richards. Richards digs after it in the corner. Ristolainen fell as he got in front of him and comes up with the puck. Ristolainen working his way onto center ice. Missed the last game. He was out with the flu. He almost stole the puck in front of the Chicago net, but it goes to Keith. Duncan Keith tipping it back behind the goal, and then a return pass for him. And he has to chase after it, and he fires it out to center ice. Brought in over the line now by Shaw. Shaw busting around behind the Buffalo goal. Goes all the way to the corner. Tap back to Keith at the point with a shot. Scores! Duncan Keith let it rip. The slap shot catches the corner of the net, and the Hawks have the 1-0 lead.
Duncan Keith, 10th goal of this season. And that's what good hockey teams do. They have great defensemen that chip in offensively. We talk about it all the time. Just a nice slap shot. There was plenty of traffic in front. But he just makes sure he gets it through, gets it on net. That puck is about halfway up the net when it goes in. And right there, as Benoit and Bickle kind of pass in front of Lindback, they just take his sight away just long enough where he's not able to track that puck coming from the stick of Duncan Keith.
There's Gianta taking the pass out of the air and leaving it for Ennis. Ennis tried to jam it behind the net, but it's tapped around on the boards, and Tays flips it to an open wing. Mazzaros tried to steer it ahead. That's broken up and almost stolen by Ennis. Now rolls back into the Buffalo end. Chicago changing. On to Ristolainen. for Ennis. Ennis helping it in off the Tim Horton sign in the corner. Around on the boards it comes to Ennis again. Ennis swings it into the slot, but it's jumped up into the air. Shot deflected right on Darling. Ennis Neely's making the save. Down behind the net. Ennis looking for an open man. Finally gets checked. And it's tapped out to center ice, and it'll be cleared ahead and into the Buffalo line. And Ristolainen is back quickly to break up the rush. Ristolainen battling for it in the corner along with Kruger. Jumps up. And now is knocked out to center ice. And trying to get away was Ennis, but he couldn't. He's out of gas anyway. He's on his way to the bench. Flipped in wide of the Buffalo goal. Lindback tees it up back there. Leaves it for Tyson. Lost it. Tyson Strachan lost it. Here's the rebound right in front. Great save by the goaltender. Lindback to atone for an error made by Strachan. Another long shot. Finds the glass and goes to the corner. Recovered by the Sabres, but given away in the corner again. They'll roll it around on the boards. Held in by Hossa. Hossa swings it free and gets it back to Chalmerson. His shot deflected, went wide of the net. Put back into the corner. Now steered in behind the Buffalo goal again. Rolled around on the boards, not out of the zone. Back to the point, long shot, knocked down, rebound, another shot. And Lindback's got it and hangs on to it. And a little loosey-goosey by Buffalo in their own end.
Yeah, and that's exactly what you don't want to do and give pucks away. Right here, Tyson Strachan loses the puck to Jonathan Toews, and he just turns, fires. And Lindback comes out, makes the save, not sure where the rebound went. But watch this, he makes the save, then he's looking all around, trying to figure out where that puck went. But you've got to be so careful right there. You got to get that puck into an area where it's safe or protected a little better.
Up across ice, broken up this time by Kaleta. He tried to roll it through the middle. He goes after it again, got it in over the Chicago line, but taken back to Keith. Keith steers it around on the boards and slapped ahead and knocked out to center ice. Kaleta's back to break it up. Keith tips it off to Rundblad. Chicago trying to regroup here with a pass to Duncan Keith. He got it on to center ice. Richards hitting the line and flipping it on in. Lindback got it to the corner, but not out of the zone. Chicago keeping it in with Richards. Winging it across ice. Kept in there by the Hawks. And around behind the goal goes Timonen. Timonen comes out with a shot. And getting in front of it, knocking a piece of it away was Lindback, but it's kept in by the Hawks again. Back to Timonen. Timonen's long shot. Knocked down right beside the net. The rebound. And it's fired wide of the net by Seabrook. Back in behind the Buffalo goal. Benoit swings it around on the boards, and that misses everybody. Goes down the ice just far enough for an icing. Stay tuned for the Karuba Collision coming up later in the game. Go to Sabres.com to vote on the Karuba Collision of the Year. You'll have a chance to win season tickets for next year.
Now we talked about two 6'6" goaltenders. We got 13 feet of goaltender and almost 7 foot of a linesman. Mike Civic. 6'9" he's registered at.
Wow. I knew he was up there.
He's way up there. He's a lot closer to you up there than I am.
Yeah, I guess he wouldn't be that far away. The puck going to the corner now to Saad. Saad keeping it in. Drips it back to the point, but it went out to center ice. Hawks have to clear the zone, and Buffalo gets a chance as a result to make a change. Fired right back in by Oduya. And that's going to end up in the Chicago end. Cleared on to center ice again. Shaw turning for Saad. Saad gaining the Sabres line. Bust to the outside. Flipped it around behind the net. Got it to Shaw in the corner. He fell. Jumps up in the air, but is kept in by the Hawks again. Shaw's got it again. Back to the point it comes, and a long shot kicked away by Lindback. Now banked off the boards and up on the wing for Gianta. Gianta gains the line, swings it across ice. A shot fired and deflected. And it goes out of play as Larson let it rip. 13:49 remaining here in the opening period. Chicago has a 1-0 lead.
Cox leading the Sabres 1-0, 13:49 left in this first period. Geico presents today in Sabres history, April 3rd, 2011, rookie defenseman Marc-Andre Granani became the first player in Buffalo history to score his first career goal in overtime. He scored in 2:56 of overtime in the 2-1 win at Carolina.
waiting while they look after Lindback's skate, who's having attended to over at the bench. It's been busy here in this opening period. The Hawks have only registered 6 shots on goal. He probably feels like it's about 20.
Yeah, there's been an awful lot of movement in those 6 shots in the time that Chicago has spent in the offensive zone. And like I said earlier, they love to hang on to the puck, and they're going to make you move, and they're going to get you chasing. And when you're chasing, the second it happens, it is going to open up a lane. They're going to jump all over it.
They're doing all this without Pat Kane.
See him coming into the building tonight. He says he's just waiting for the okay to get himself going again. He feels good, he said.
Back skating, that's a good sign. Here are the Hawks now getting in over the line with Cougar's shot. Kicked away, tapped back into the corner, banked around for Ennis. He's challenged by Oduya. Larson trying to kick it free, gets all tangled up with Desjardins. Ennis can't get it out. Hawks keeping it in, but Lindback will play it behind the net around to Mazzaros, and he got drifted in the corner. As he had the hit from Desjardins right on him. Desjardins then trying to take another run at Ristolainen, and Ristolainen rolls him. Ristolainen tipping it off the boards as far as center. Ennis thought that he'd been slashed. He had, but no penalty was called. And the Hawks to try and get it going again with Chalmerson. Into Buffalo territory, but shoved offside was Versteeg, and perhaps Taves was in as well.
Sabres have to be very careful here because of the pressure that Chicago's putting on, and not to start to back off too soon. They can still maintain good pressure, standing up at the blue line, force this team to chip the puck in the corner. You've got a better opportunity getting the puck back. If they chip it in, you get down there and battle for it. If you allow them to gain the zone and get set up, that's where you're going to get yourself in trouble.
Foligno wrestling trying to get the puck out. It came to the line, but is held in there. Heimonen sends it to the other side, and Seabrook's shot is steered away. Flipped up in the air and on to center ice. Chopped in by Delorier. Delorier racing in after it, and he drills Seabrook in behind the net. Into the blue line, all the way out to center, picked up by Bogosian. Bogosian sliding it across ice. Strachan's pass up on the wing, missed by everybody. It's Buffalo, however. Delorier getting there first, and that negates the icing call. Taves flips it over on the wing. Grigorenko broke it up on his way to the bench. And back comes Chicago's Timonen. It's the long shot in. Lindback feeds it over on the wing to Hodgson. Back to Bogosian. Bogosian out to center it goes. Tipped in over the line by Delpy, but they're going to rule that Veroni was offside. Tonight's Fan Advantage keyword is coach. Remember, fans, that all points earned in Fan Advantage this season expire on June 30th, so make sure you're redeeming as you earn. For more information, visit sabres.com/fanadvantage.
Well, that coach, I just looked down the bench and he was talking to himself already.
Well, there's two coaches. Which one were you referring to? I think his name starts with the letter N, right? And the puck was cleared away into the corner, chipped around behind the net by Hossa, and rolled around on the boards. Vermette got it ahead. Slapped out to center ice. Jumped in over the Buffalo line, kept in there, and the shot right on the score! That one trickled in over the goal line. Lindback got a piece of it, but not enough to prevent it from going in, and Patrick Sharp is going to get Chicago's second goal.
And 15th of the season, but watch this move. He just takes it in. He's going to power this one through. It's just going to leak through Anders Lindback into the net. Antoine Vermette driving to the net, but you can't see because of the referee right there. But he makes a curl and drag move along the wall on Andre Benoit. That was awesome. To see that torque right there in the stick as he's taking that shot, he leaned into that wrister. That's why there was so much power to squeeze it through Lindback. He wasn't able to pinch that one off, but what a move just inside the blue line on Andre Benoit to get himself in that shooting lane.
Now Bickle sending it deep into the Buffalo zone. Strachan chasing back after it. He banks it off the boards. Did not get it out, though. The Hawks keep it in. Strachan has to chase back after it again. And fires it around to Ennis, who hooks it out to center ice. Chalmerson for Shaw. Back to Chalmerson. 11 minutes remaining in the opening period. Oduya Chased back into his own zone by Ennis. Ennis chased him all the way around behind the net, but Aguirre gets it off the boards and up on the wing. And it's steered across and picked up by Chalmerson. Chalmerson gains the line, tipping it on into the corner. Shaw bumping in there with Larson. Larson takes the puck away, however, and rolls it up on the wing for Ennis. Ennis trying to scoop it on for Gianta, but they're ruling that Gianta got in a little too early.
Well, the Sabres can't not be aggressive here. Even though Chicago's had good puck control and everything here, one man forcing, and then everybody kind of pulls back into the neutral zone, leaving too big of a gap, and it's making it too easy for Chicago. They got to continue to force, get a couple guys going down the ice and trying to push the puck to his side and pinch it off. Best chance to get the puck back.
And the puck is cleared around into the corner. Hawks keeping it in back to Timonen. Timonen slides it along the boards. Came to the point. Kept in there as it's drilled in down low by Teravainen. Finally rolled on to center. Ellis tried to steer it ahead, and he runs smack dab into Desjardins, who's really been tossing his weight around in only 2 shifts. And it's going to deflect now and go out of play in the corner. And we are halfway through the opening period.
Yeah, very quiet building here tonight.
You knew somebody was going to have a little chat with Desjardins, and it's Coletta.
You can see Desjardins coming across, colliding with Matt Ellis right here in front of my box between the 2 benches. Matt Ellis staying up on his feet, continuing to go. Desjardins goes down. This is what they need. They need a couple good shifts out of the 3rd, 4th line here. Some physical play, getting it, banging around a little bit, trying to get the puck deep and just running guys, trying to get them backed off a little bit.
Hawks keeping it in. Rundblad drops it back. There's the shot, and that went over top of the net, and Hossa let it rip. Back into the corner again. Swung free through the middle to Grigorenko. Grigorenko got it over on the wing. Return pass. He couldn't get his shot away. Delorier was knocked down in the corner. And Chicago's Taves squeezes a pass out to center. That's flipped in deep. Lindback left it behind the net. Taves tried to bank it in off the goaltender, who was getting back into position. Comes across to Keith. He got it into the slot. And now it'll deflect and go out to center ice as Versteeg's pass didn't work out. Keith for Taves. Taves loses it at center and flipped in by Polino. Hawks starting away with a pass up the center, and it's Ennis who comes over and steps into his man. Brought in over the line by Larson, but he could not control it, and Ennis trying to steal it back from Chalmerson. Up the middle it goes. Richards guns it over on the wing. Hawks into the Buffalo end again with a shot that's going to go high and into the mesh. 8:40 remaining. We are in the first period here at First Niagara Center. And the Chicago Blackhawks 2-0.
Sabres need a better forecheck. Well, as they move up the ice here, you see all 5 guys forcing Buffalo to the outside. The puck goes in. 1 man coming on each side. As the puck moves back across, got backed off a little too much. Larson's got to continue to be aggressive there. Come down on Hjalmarsson and try to pick him off and force him. As he backs off, he just gives him enough room. They make a beautiful play coming out of the zone, and they come back to the Sabres end easy.
Ennis trying to get it across to Mazzaros. He worked it up on the wing, deflected in. Larson goes racing in there after it, but Aguirre got there in time. And it's tapped out to center ice and picked up by Vermette. Vermette drops it back. Sharp left it there, and the shot is deflected away and goes out of play.
Antoine Vermette comes to the Chicago Blackhawks from the Arizona Coyotes at the trade deadline. Excellent player. Had an opportunity to play with him in Ottawa defensively. Fantastic. Moves the puck. Great skater. He just kind of fits into this whole mold of what the Chicago Blackhawks have developed and made here. He's a guy that's very reliable, that can play on any situation, on any line.
He's also nice enough to sign your jersey.
Yeah, his name's right across my final jersey in NHL. Thank you.
Chicago territory. Coletta wins the race, so there won't be an icing call. Now Ellis trying to dig it free in the corner, held in by Schaller. He got booked, but no penalty there. And it's drilled out through center ice, and then Kaleta collides with Shaw, and they bump one another again. Deflected back in over the line. Up to center and down the ice. Shaw is going to be the first one back, but he's got Bogosian with him, and Bogosian drills him. And now Kaleta comes back and hits Shaw. Head to the bench, Andrew, and get a rest. To a point it comes, kept in by Chicago. Sharp turning, Hutton Saad, back to the point. The shot gets blocked, and Kaleta will flip it up in the air, and it goes out of play. Well, I can remember at one point when Andrew Shaw would react a little more than he did to those hits.
He's definitely grown up. He's matured as a player.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, he's very effective because offensively he's got some nice hands. He's putting up decent numbers this year, but he can skate, he can play in those roles, but he can be that pest. He's from back home. That's the kind of players we develop there. Matt Cook, Rob Ray, Andrew Shaw, very effective.
How many times has Shaw been suspended?
Please. You're not allowed in the club if you're not.
I was going to say. Pass up on the wing to Foligno, getting it across ice, in over the line, Zadorov. Took a shot, kicked away by Darling. And recovered and set up on the wing, and now banked out to the neutral zone. Benoit flipping it back across ice again. Pass is chipped in over the line by Zadorov, who's stepping off the ice for a rest. And into the corner, recovered by Keith. Buffalo keeping it in. Delorier got tripped, and here's a penalty coming up to Chicago. And Delorier got the shot away, but he had the legs swept out from under him.
Yeah, Kruger's going to go to the box here. Ford tripping. And right here you see 16's just going to reach out, take the feed out from underneath Nick Delorier as he was taking the shot. Still got it off. Good effort by Nick Delorier, at least getting the puck to the net. Penalty kill here for Chicago. Very good. 5th in the NHL overall. 2nd at home, 6th on the road.
Ennis for Bogosian. Back to Ennis. Now he slings it over for Giunta. He'll take his shot, and Darling got his pad down on that one. Ennis again at the point. He has Bogosian open and gives it to him. Bogosian on for Giunta. Ennis winding up, doesn't shoot. Giunta does. Right on, and Darling's got it and hangs on. The Sabres power play brought to you by New Wave Energy, your local energy supplier and the power behind the Buffalo Sabres.
For the team to get the best possible result, it requires hard work, talent, and passion.
Let our team at Cellino Barnes help you get the best possible result.
Ready for the face-off in the Chicago end. Buffalo the man advantage. Dribbles back to the point. Ennis swings it over to Bogosian. He'll take his shot. That's right on. And Darling again, big guy, but gets his pad down. And it's cleared all the way down the ice. Lindback would like to play it ahead, but he's being watched by Desjardins. So he leaves it for Ennis. To Bogosian. Up the middle, Giunta. He's chased around back there by Saad on to Bogosian. Bogosian brings it in over the line and flips it in deep. And it's going to be chopped all the way back down into the Buffalo end. The Hawks making a change. With less than a minute remaining in their penalty. Bogosian on to Larson. Waited too long to make a move, and by that time he forced Foligno in on the offside.
Chicago Blackhawks team 2nd in the NHL in taking the least amount of penalties, averaging 7.2 minutes per game that they play shorthanded. So very disciplined hockey team.
But tipped across ice is going to be gunned in by Ristolainen. Got it into the corner. Foligno goes charging in there. So does Hodgson. Hodgson trying to dig it free behind the net. Foligno flips it back to the point. Mazaros takes his shots, and Darling again down on his knees. He likes to go down, but he covers so much of the net that he makes the save.
Well, he is so big, and he comes out. He cuts that angle off. They talk about his first move in a scouting report. being very good. When he opens up is after he makes that first move, he's got to recover to make the second or third save. That's when the big guy gets opened up a little bit, and that's where you can take advantage of him. So the initial shot, very good. You got to get him moving to try to get him opened up a little bit.
I wasn't being critical of his play. It was an observation.
No, that's just the way they are, those guys, those big. So when they do get down.
There's Grigorenko's shot, and that went off the arm of Darling. Not cleared in front of the net, but picked off, and he uses it, kept in. Grigorenko, another shot, bounces off the back of the net. Foligno trying to keep it alive, and he does. Foligno still battling. Back to Grigorenko. Now to the point to Mazzaros to Grigorenko. Grigorenko didn't shoot. Backhand goes to the corner, out in front, misses everybody down the ice. Chicago back at full strength, and Kruger started to race back after it, but it's cleared up on the ice to center ice now from the goaltender Lindback. Foligno dumped it in. Hawks getting it back again. Steered behind the net by Saad, and around on the boards to Timonen. Out to center. Now another line is Vermette. Vermette leaves it to Richards, who guides it across ice to Chalmerson, and it's going to be held by Lindback. Just a tad over 4 minutes to go here in the first period, visiting Chicago. 2-0 lead.
2-0, 4:07 left in this first period. Our Hyundai leader, all-time NHL coaching win. Scotty Bowman leads away at 1,244, followed by Al Arbor, and Chicago's Joel Quenneville in third place with 753, followed by Ken Hitchcock and Dick Urban.
I was kind of wrapped up watching the video board and with the Easter egg hunt going on.
You need to stay focused.
Well, I was focused. I'm telling you, I was watching.
That scoreboard's got nothing to do with what
I wasn't
you and I are
looking at
doing,
the scoreboard. I was watching the video board.
When we're separated, it's not the same.
You're not kidding. Darling out of the net to slide it off and give it to Timonen, who's bumped by his opposition 44, Delorier. On to center ice. Taves getting in over the line, putting on the brakes. He tried to drop it back. It's broken up, and it gets too far for Ellis to catch up with it. Delorier after it again. Now to Bogosian. Stratton back to Bogosian. He sends it through the middle. Ennis trying to get away. His teammates are changing. Ennis bumped along the boards, but it's taken back and scooped high in the air and down the ice. No icing this time. Stratton is back after it. 3:20 to go here in the opening period. Brought to center and getting checked there was Larson. Bogosian covers up. Flips it around in the boards, but it's kept in by Richards. Down behind the net for Taves. Had a little difficulty controlling it. Now he finds the handle and is trying to get away from Larson. Taves leaves it along the wall. Hawks keeping it in. Back to Chalmerson. He takes the shot. That deflected in front of the net. Taves can't get anywhere. Strachan recovers. Strachan around for Bogosian. And Bogosian whips it on to center ice. Picked up by Larson. Larson taps it free for Ennis. Ennis tried to duck into the slot area. Fanned on it, gets it again. Now he took his shot. That went off the leg, and the Hawks get it back, and it's brought out by Hossa. Hossa will whip it in deep. With 2.5 to go in the period. Ennis trying to get away at center. And he did, but he can't control the puck. And it's brought back in the other direction, and Bicklow gets hit by Zadorov. They bank it along the boards again, knocked free and tapped out by Delorier. Recovered by Keith, who sends it through center. Missed everybody. No icing this time. Lindback gets it up on the wing to Zadorov, who couldn't reach it. And it goes now to Foligno. Foligno ripped the pass across ice. Delorier getting it over the line, trying to get around Rundblad. He cleared it round behind the net. Hit back into the corner. Rundblad gets dropped by Delorier. They jam on the boards again. Kept in by Buffalo's Foligno with a shot, and that's steered off into the corner. Mazzaros chasing after it. He loses it. And the Hawks will get it back and send it high in the air through center. Flip back in the other direction, but recovered by Chicago and brought in over the line with a shot that's right on. And Teravainen was beaten by Lindback. And now it deflects and goes out of play with less than a minute and a half remaining in the opening period.
And Nick Deslauriers coming into tonight's game ranked 8th in the league with 247 hits. And he continues to throw them around right here. Just dropping his shoulder into David Rundblad here. Knocks him to the ice. The Sabres able to come in and pick up the puck afterwards.
Kruger losing the draw to Dalpe. Puck flipped up in the air, goes all the way to center, chipped right back into the Buffalo end. Ristolainen is there. He twists one around behind the net and gets it right back again. Ristolainen couldn't find anybody to give it to. Finally picked off by Desjardins and knocks it over the Buffalo line, but Teravainen couldn't get anywhere. Desjardins chasing after it again. Ristolainen takes it away. He slides it ahead. Less than a minute to go in the period. It's tipped out to center. Ellis whacked it in. Darling gets it on to Timonen. He'll leave it to Seabrook. Back for Timonen. Timonen getting it into the Buffalo corner. Sabres recover it in there. Trying to work it behind the net. Larson got it up on the wing, but not out. It's kept in, and the shot, it's knocked down, but it's held in again by Chalmerson. Got it around on the boards. Sharp battling for it. He tipped it back to Oduya. That shot goes wide. Sharp a blast in front of the net, and Vermette couldn't control it. Now Vermette gets buried along the wall, and there's going to be a penalty coming up here to Larson. And the Sabres get the puck back. A couple of Chicago players were all upset about it, but Vermette was not.
Johan Larsson going to the box here for Porting. The referee was just to the right, standing in the corner.
He gave him a pretty good rep.
Yeah, he did. And I was surprised nobody else came across and maybe addressed it after the hit was made, but not the right guys on the ice to do that. But Larsson's gone to the box for 2.6 seconds left in the period. Chicago on a brief power play.
But with the goaltender still in the net. And there's a shot right on by Keith, and he got it away before the buzzer went. And Lindback met his match.
Yeah, I think the Sabres need to go into the dressing room here in this first intermission and just kind of realize, hey, we can't be in awe of these guys. We got to go. We got to start being a little more aggressive. We're allowing Chicago to dictate play just a little too much. We can be more aggressive and make it a little more difficult on them.
Now, Chicago did have 12 shots on goal in the first period, but Buffalo had 11. Difference being the two of the Hawks went into the net.
Sabres Hockey on MSG is brought to you by Coca-Cola, the official soft drink of the Buffalo Sabres. Brought to you by the Ford F-150 with EcoBoost. Built Ford tough. Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Brought to you by your Buffalo Hyundai dealers. Brought to you by Document Elegance and Konica Minolta, the official office technology company of the Buffalo Sabres. Get tomorrow's office today. The New York State Smokers Quit Line. For help quitting, talk to your doctor or call 866-NY-QUITS.
Here's how the Hawks took the lead on Buffalo in period number one. Duncan Keith is a double-digit goal scorer from his position again this season. Give him 10 on the year. Brandon Saad with an assist. Give him 50 points for the first time in his career. And Andrew Shaw with a helper. He has 7 points in 5 career games against Buffalo. Then there's that offering from Patrick Sharp. The slick move and a shot that overpowers Lindback. Rundblad and Richards draw the assists on the play. So Chicago leads by 2. But I mentioned first thing here at the top of the report, this intermission. Buffalo did stabilize. Yes, that's not uncommon. When a team goes up by 2, maybe they step off the pedal a little bit. But Buffalo came back, and not a bad Corsi at -7 through the course of 20 minutes, considering how the period started. And you see in the red zone area, Buffalo a match for Chicago, but obviously they're going to have to generate more overall. The one thing that they did do was produce 5 shots on goal in their one and only power play attempt. And that's a terrific sign should they get some more power plays in the periods ahead. As you know, it's been going great guns the last 9. Offensive zone time in favor of Chicago, obviously, overall, and for puck possession in the zone. And Chicago can better those numbers as they start period number 2 on the power play here at First Niagara Center. To RJ and Razor.
Yes, and this Buffalo Sabres penalty kill is brought to you by Napa. Napa has the know-how. Gianta facing off against Taves, who wins the draw, and back to Keith. Keith slowly Way out of his own end. Now up through the middle to Hossa, busting in with a shot, and he fired it wide the rebound. And around behind the net. Hit back into the corner, chopped ahead, and slapped the rest of the way down the ice by Gianta. Well, the Hawks try it again. Hossa. Flipping it on to Tays. Tays cutting in front, dumped it across ice, didn't get a shot away, and it bounces back behind the net. Strachan got it around the boards, but Tays holds it in to Keith to Tays to Keith. Keith looking over here to Hossa with a shot. That's right on. Lindback made the save, could not cover up on it, and it's drifted off the boards and down the ice. Darling way out of the net. He wanted to play it, but his teammates were making changes. Chicago will come away again with less than a minute remaining in their power play. Kicked in to the corner. Run back after it. Ellis. He falls. Scooped all the way around in the boards and kept in by Sharp at the point. Sharp leaves it to Richards on the hash marks. Gets it right back again. And gives it to Vermette. And Vermette tried to pass to the point, and that caroms all the way back into the Chicago end. Seabrook could not knock it down. Half a minute left in the penalty. Just underway in the second period. Hawks with 2-0 lead. In over the line and working his way into the corner. Sharp spins it around on the boards. It comes back to the point for Versteeg. He gets it into Sharp. Sharp looking around, trying to find an open man. Dishes it in behind the net. It's tipped back along the wall and held in by Richards. Top of the circle. Richards works it into a slot with a shot right on. And Lindback makes the save to foil Versteeg.
Marcus Foligno has gone into the dressing room, and the issue being right off the opening faceoff, middle of the ice. He's going to run into Andrew Shaw. And you see him right there at difficulty as soon as the two of them came together. Kind of like collided heads. And both of them had some difficulties, but at the end of that shift, Marcus came off and directly into the room. And Tim Macri went in with him.
Chalmerson now with a pass that goes up the middle. It swung all the way back, and Oduya got it ahead, but that's going to be whistled down. And Buffalo back at full strength.
Talked to Tommy Coolen between periods about what the team needed to do a little better. He said defensively, in the defensive zone, awful. Got to clean that up a little bit. Big problem being they're allowing the defensemen for Chicago Blackhawks to get involved way too much. He said the neutral zone as well. He says way too loose. They're going to try to play a man-to-man in the neutral zone to try to slow them down a little bit, and they want to get two guys in on the forecheck. Not enough happening in the first period that way.
That'll be an icing against the Hawks right here. A little over 2 minutes into the second period.
The big picture of what he's trying to say is they're going to try to slow them down a little bit. Too much backing off in that first period, allowing especially the D of the Chicago Blackhawks to get the puck and get wound up and start gaining the line, making the moves that they need to. So they figure playing a little more man-on-man will take that advantage away, hopefully.
You're right in the face-off, so they're going to try it again. Dave Friesbois drops the puck, and it misses everybody and ends up in the Buffalo end, but not an icing this time. Sharkin chasing back after it. Flipped it in behind the net. It's chopped around for Gianta, and he sends it up the middle for Larson with a pass ahead to Ennis. To Larson again. Larson bounces one in deep, and Darling had to be careful, and he hangs on to it.
Well, even being as big as Darling is, even a little bouncing puck like that sometimes gives you fits. He's talking to the referee right now about freezing the puck. You just see sometimes the puck will take a strange bounce. You just never know where it's going to get. Unfortunately, Marcus Foligno has come back to the bench.
Sabres already tonight without Matt Molson and Mike Weber. Seabrook steers it behind the net for Timonen. He gets it up on the wing. But it's kept in momentarily by Ristolainen, broken up, and Seabrook in over the line and takes his shot and ripped it wide. Round on the boards, and the Sabres strike back again. Cleared by Dalty off into the corner. Hodgson couldn't come up with it. Didn't get it out, though. It's kept in with Ristolainen's long shot, and that one is going to be held by the goaltender, Scott Darling.
Now the Sabres finally getting guys to the front of the net, getting that shot through. Cody Hodgson coming in on the forecheck and eliminating Marian Hossa. Second man coming in. But everybody, as soon as the puck goes to the point, realize it. Veroni, Dalpe both going to the front of the net looking for the redirection. That man right there, Cody Hodgson, skating a lot better the last little while.
Puck cleared in for Foligno. Digs his way into the corner, got it out in front. It's tapped across for Zadorov. He dumped it in front of the net. Darling kicked it away. Back to Zadorov, holding it in there. Zadorov took another shot. That one didn't get through. I think it hit Foligno. And it's rolled on into the corner. Foligno battling for it, keeping it alive for Buffalo. He tried to jam it out in front of the net. Chicago recovering. The pass goes to center ice. Scooped on in by Saad and taken back by Benoit. Hawks changing. Cross ice pass for Grigorenko. Grigorenko whipping it in. He's all the way around on the boards and it's fired out to center again. Strachan got it up on the wing off Grigorenko and right to the Hawk goaltender. Cleared by Chalmerson, who got away with a bad pass. Sharp sending it to the blue line and out to center. Deflected inside the Chicago line again. Coletta racing after it in the corner. Didn't get there, but there's no icing. Chicago rolling it along the boards, but Sharp finally gets it out to center ice. Taken back by Strachan. Strachan having some problems behind the net. Let's get it back again. Bogosian helping out. And rolls to the corner and is tipped around and back through center and into Hawk territory. Seabrook is there to come up with it. Almost 5 minutes gone here in the second period. Long pass ahead. Brought in over the line and turning was Kruger. Flipped it back in the other direction. Sabres take it away and around it goes to Mazzaros. Boris Stalainen. Got it up on the wing. Giunta stepping in over the line. Trying to pass it. Went behind Ennis. Ennis kept it in to Larson in the corner. Larson around behind the Hawk net. Cleared it out in front. Well, Chicago intercepting with a pass that goes to Kruger at center. He dishes it in over the Buffalo line. Stopping with a shot that fired wide is Desjardins. Round on the boards. Another long shot. That steered off into the corner but kept in by the Hawks. They battle in along the wall. Work back to the point and deflects up into the mesh. Stay up to date on roster moves. Find out what the coach is thinking every week on WGR. Join Teddy Nolan Tuesday mornings at 8 with Howard and Jeremy on the home of the Buffalo Sabres, WGR Sports Radio 550. Sabres are playing tomorrow night in Long Island. Hawks are idle tomorrow.
Our last trip to Long Island, RJ.
I know it is. Well, your last trip.
And you're not coming.
No, I'm not. I've seen enough rats in my lifetime. We're puck in over the line now. Dalpe, what a move, and the shot right on, and Darling made the big save. Nifty move by Zach Dalpe. Long pass at center is taken back by Strachan. He cleared it ahead. Hodgson will deflect it in deep. And Rundblad going back after it. Rundblad left it in the corner, and it's cleared to an open wing, and Chicago, Rundblad getting it back again. He works it into the Buffalo territory and took a shot that goes high and off the glass in the corner. Kept in there by Versteeg. Taves battling for it. Slipped around on the boards. Hossa kept it in, and Lindback's going to hang on. 13.5 to go. We're in the second period. Chicago gets 2 in the first and leads by that many. But a replay. Seward Toyota takes you. Test drive one at your Toyota dealer.
And Zach Dalpe making a nice move, using his speed, taking this puck wide, just sidestepped Marian Hossa there really quick and easy. And he steps in and he gets a great shot on Darling. But watch this right here. As Hossa comes across, attacks, curl and drag, sidestep, and gets a great shot off. Talked to him in the pregame. Some pregame point streak, scored his first goal as a Sabre last game. And he just feels his confidence is growing. He says the more opportunity I get him, the better I feel. I'm able to do and play the game that I want to play.
Moves like that. Pretty nifty. Well, the Hawks keeping it in the Buffalo end now. They work it down low. A shot does not get through. Molino flipped it ahead, but not out. Went around behind the net again. Hit back in the corner. Zadorov trying to tie up his man. The shot right on, and Lindback comes up with a super save. And a great opportunity for the Hawks to make it 3-0.
Well, Brandon Saad had a great opportunity. Lindback makes a huge save. 18th of this game so far. Puck's going to move to the front. And Lindback gets from right to left. Very quick. And he's able to get a lot of body over there. He's getting his gloves up. He's got his pads up, everything. And he's getting plenty over there to make that save. And there's a penalty being called here.
This was by consensus a delay of game penalty against Buffalo.
They did. They all went over. They all talked. Here's Nick Delorier takes the puck. As you see the puck up on edge. See it right there? And as he just tries flicking it off the glass to bounce it out of the zone, it just slides over the top and it's gone.
So Buffalo shorthanded again. Tipped off the boards and now slapped out and down the ice. Kaleta chasing after it, so Darling will come way out and play it up on the wing to center ice. Tapped in, and the Hawks bring it back in. The side. Right front. That's deflected back into the corner. Chip back to the point. Keith holding it in. Keith takes a shot. That misses. Goes on to Saad again. Kaleta tried to take it away from him. Keith holding it in. For Hossa to Keith. He sends it off to the side to Saad. Brandon Saad back to Keith. Now to Hossa. Keith's got it once more. Keith into Saad. Saad swings it back to Hossa. He'll let it go, and that one gets blocked. And it's set off the boards as Kaleta went down in front of it. Keith trying again for Chicago with a minute left in their power play. Sharp works it in over the line. He gets checked in the corner, and it's drifted all the way down the ice by Benoit. Schaller out doing some penalty killing along with Ellis. Rolled in over the line by Seabrook and broken up by Ellis, and he slapped it back down again. So Sharp will pick it up with a half-minute remaining in the power play. Tipped it over on the wing. It's brought in over the blue line, and Versteeg works it down low into the corner. Versteeg getting it off the boards. Back to Richards. Richards into the slot, accepts a return pass, looking for an open man in front of the net, still hanging on to the puck. He gunned it across ice, the shot right on, and Lindback comes over to make the save and take one away from Sharp. As Buffalo returns to full strength. Hawks get it as far as center ice. Desjardins gets tied up, but it pops free and is kept in there by Chicago. Backhand around behind the net. Larson trying to steal it back. Jam it in along the boards. Bogosian lurking. Picked up by Desjardins. Bogosian flattens Desjardins in the corner. Hello, Karuba. Here's Strachan now trying to work it out of there. Kicks it free to Larson, to Bogosian. He'll send it to the blue line, but not out. Chicago keeping it in. Larson is back to cover up. Strachan to Bogosian. He'll wheel it across ice, and Desjardins looked to get a little piece of him, and that's all he got was a very little piece. Strachan feeding it up on the wing. Chipped in by Delorier. Going back after it, Chalmerson. Gave it away at center, though, and here's Hodgson dancing in over the line with a shot right on. He had the rebound, but he couldn't get it. Now it comes back again. Kept in by Buffalo. Zadorov into Hodgson, trying to flip it in front. Ennis attempting to steal it away. Does. Came to the blue line and out to center ice. Benoit breaks it up. Knocked down at center ice and taken away by Chalmerson. He'll fire it back in. Past the midway point of regulation in this game. Banked off the boards, but not out of the zone. Veroni was unable to get it out. Now it's swept on to Benoit. Up to Veroni. Peroni fighting off a check of Taves. Leaves it there to Ennis. Ennis battling in the corner. Got it around behind the net. Out in front to Ennis with a shot. And that one is stopped by Darling. And cleared by everybody down the ice, but no icing. Drifted around in the boards by Zadorov and out to center. Picked up there by Keene, who will sail it right back in again. Mazaros getting it into the corner with Zadorov. He got checked and then he recovered to clear it out to center ice, but Chicago bringing it right back in with sharp shot that's right on, and Lindback down on his knees makes the save with 9 minutes remaining in period 2, and Chicago still a 2-0 lead.
Blackhawks lead the Sabres 2-0. 9:01 left in this second period. Anders Lindback making a beautiful save right here, coming across, taking one away from Patrick Sharp on the power play. And then later on that shift, watch Zach Bogosian puts the first man down. Watch this hit. Boom. He comes across and hammers Andrew Desjardins in the corner. And later on that shift, Desjardins tried to come back at him, give him a little bit of a taste of his own medicine. Little sidestep, and he only got very little of Zach Bogosian.
Tipped into the corner. Foligno chasing after it. He swings it ahead to Grigorenko. Grigorenko down the wing. Got it through the middle. Chopped in over the line. Delorier tried to catch up with him, and he gets a chunk of Seabrook. And fed all the way back out to center ice. Mazzaros tapping it across ice. Delorier whipping it back in again. Battle behind the net. King free momentarily. Got it out in front. Delorier's shot is smack dab right on. Darling, the big save.
Now Delorier ends up getting this opportunity because of good work down low by Mike Grigorenko behind the net. And he's the guy that's going to start all this. He's the one that's going to make the pass. Right here he does. Nice job getting in on top of the defender team and then ties him up. Seabrook comes in. Foligno comes out and bails him out. And as he does, he steps out and hits Nick Delorier perfectly coming down through the slot. Once again, Scott Darling coming up with a big save. That's his 18th of this game so far.
Oduya tipping it around to Chalmerson. He got it up the middle. It's going to go all the way down the ice, and it's going to be a face-off back in the Chicago zone.
We have talked about the hits. We're going to show you some of them in this game. Sabres out hitting Chicago 17-5, but there's been some big ones. There's been some heavy ones. You see Nick Delorier get involved quite a bit. Pat Valletta, Zach Bogosian. There was the big one that just happened. And that's what you got to try to do when you're playing a team as offensive-minded and the skilled players that Chicago has. You got to try to use your asset and slow them down.
Strachan keeping it in by wheeling it in behind the net. Gianza flipped it back for Ennis. He tried to clear it across ice. Does. Bogosian takes a shot. That's right in front of the net, but it's slapped away. Came to the blue line. Kept in by Bogosian, but picked up by Chicago. Now steered up the middle. Teravainen almost pulled a groin trying to stay onside. Maybe he did pull a groin. They bang it back into the corner again. Strachan knocking down Kruger, and Kruger's slow at getting up. And now we've got a battle starting. Strachan going at it with Desjardins. Strachan knocks the helmet off. Desjardins goes down to the ice. They're both down there now, and they'll break it up.
Now Desjardins coming to the aid of his teammate, Tyson Strachan. In the corner, down low. You're going to see it right here. And he's going to hit Kruger. Clean check, hard. Just finishing off. Kruger goes down. And immediately after, you're going to see Desjardins come across and go at Strachan. Both men drop the gloves. Both men throw a couple punches. Not a lot connected. Tyson right off the hop. He's waiting to get himself going. Gets 2 or 3 more in there. Desjardins does as well. And both men hit the ice. They're still in the penalty box discussing what happened.
Well, they got 5 minutes to discuss it. I don't think they got that much to talk about.
No, I don't.
Minutes.
Tyson's
won't last that long.
Yeah, Tyson doesn't listen too much to that stuff. He's pretty easy going. Yeah. He'll just agree with him.
Pass now going to Mazzaros. He gets it in over the line. Quick shot is going to deflect, and that's going out of play. 7.5 remaining here in the second period.
Half of the game, score 2-0. Shots are extremely close too. Chicago 22, Sabres 19. In this second period, though, Sabres doing a little better job of spending some time in the offensive zone, creating some chances, and hanging on to the puck a little more.
Cleared to center ice, brought in over the line by Saad. Took a shot, and that one goes up. I think the stick of Ristolainen, whatever, it went out of play.
This is another situation where the Sabres just backing off just that little too much. And by doing that, even that 5 or 6 feet, giving that extra room where the Chicago players are able to get themselves to the middle of the ice, into that prime area, in that gut, going through the slot and taking a shot.
Fired across ice, long shot, misses the net. Round on the boards, kept in by Hossa. And taken away by Benoit. The Hawks got their signals crossed there, and the Sabres take advantage and get it to center ice. Pass on to Ellis. Ellis took his shot. Darling reaches out, grabs it, and he's going to hang on to it. He had time to get rid of it, but he elected not to.
Our New York Lottery inside the numbers. The 1968-69 Chicago Blackhawks were the first NHL team to have 5 30-goal scorers. Bobby Hull led with 58. Stan Mikita, Eric Nestorenko, Dennis Hull, and Kenny Warham each had exactly 30. And this year, they have 0 30-goal scorers.
That's tough to do. Have 4 guys end up with exactly 30 goals. I mean, you'd love to see it happen. There's the rebound to score! Marcus Foligno picking up the rebound in front of the net, punching it home, and Buffalo is trailing by 1.
Now, as we just talked about, Marcus Foligno getting his 7th goal of this season, finding the big body in front of the net, winning the faceoff, coming up with the puck. And Marcus, right off the faceoff, goes directly to the net. Seabrook does not do a very good job of recognizing where Marcus Foligno was. When the puck comes through, he tries to attack and tie him up. And Marcus, just a little too powerful for him, is able to get this puck, his stick on the puck, and put it past Scott Darling.
Long pass to Shaw was picked off, scooted across ice now, and ripped in by Mazzaros. Then it deflects and ends up inside the Buffalo bench.
We'll take another look at this goal, and it's just right off the draw. Nobody even touches Marcus Foligno. As soon as the draw is taken, he just steps to the front of the net. You see 7, Seabrook on the side. All he does is try to tie him up a little bit. He made no attempt of trying to push Marcus away or anything. Marcus had plenty of time. Even if he got that puck, he could have stepped forward a little bit and taken the puck to the net.
Larson rolling it around for Gianta, taken back by Shaw. He scoots it up on the wing, and Bickle will get it to center ice. Flipped in by Teravainen. Lindback uses the boards to get it to Gianta. He tried to work it across ice, but couldn't get it as far as Ennis. Ennis chasing after it again. It bounces free at center. Larson recovers and rolls it over on the wing. Now long pass to Gianta. Tapped in over the line. Larson tried to feed it in front of the net. That hit a leg. He gets it back again for Gianta. Gianta squeezing it into the corner to Ennis. Back to Gianta. Gianta gets tripped up in the corner. Ooh, no penalty called there. Oh, yes, there is. There was no signal. I was looking at both officials. That was kind of a bit of a delayed reaction, but the Hawks will be shorthanded. 5:47 to go here in the second period. Buffalo goes back to the power play as Andrew Shaw goes.
Sabres trail the Blackhawks 2-1, 5:47 left in this second period. Our New York State Smokers Quitline trivia question. Who is the first NHL team to have 6 30 goal scorers in one season.
Andrew Shaw sitting in the penalty box, serving the minor penalty that he took just as we went to break. Buffalo trying to convert a power play that would allow them to tie the game.
We've had one power play in this game. There's 6 for the last 26.
Pulled into the corner. Baroni reaching for it. So is Larson. He kicked it free because he dropped his stick. Comes back to the point. Bogosian on to Ennis. To Bogosian. And he slides it off to Giunta. For Bogosian. Swings it over for Ennis. Ennis curling around to Giunta. Giunta. Bogosian. He wanted a one-timer, but he had to pick it up in his skates. He gets it again and shovels it around to Larson. Larson losing it in the corner and flipped ahead now, but Bogosian keeps it in there. Into the slot to Baroni, and his shot gets blocked, and it's chopped the rest of the way down the ice. Hawks making a quick change, and Bogosian's back after it. Bogosian through center, swings it on to Giunta. He tried to get it to Bogosian, but it went out of the blue line and back to the Buffalo line. And chasing after it now is Saad going to the net, and he gets checked by Lindback, the goaltender. Rolled back to Seabrook. Less than a minute remaining in the Hawk penalty. He fired down the ice. That one took a funny hop. And Lindback had to be careful. Bogosian giving it to Ennis. Ennis turns as Hossa was keeping an eye on it. And Ennis pulling away. He gets to center ice and makes another move on Hossa, getting it in over the line. Sliding it on into the corner. Back to the point it comes to Bogosian. Bogosian to Hudson. Hudson into the slot area. Foligno. Bogosian. Bogosian takes his shot right on. And Darling is going to cover up.
Just like each and every game is important to the Sabres,
Each and every client is important to our firm. Give us a call.
Only 16 seconds remaining in the Buffalo power play. Hudson moves it back to the point. The shot gets knocked out. Rebound! And fired right on by Grigorenko, but the goaltender Darling got a piece of that, and it slips back into the Buffalo end. And now the Hawks return to full strength. Pass on to Grigorenko. He leaves it for Hudson. Hudson tried to duck in front of the net. Did. Darling made the save. The rebound is slapped away, but not out. Kept in by Mazzaros. Into the corner. Grigorenko falls. Tipped around the board. Foligno keeping it in. Shovels it on for Grigorenko. Grigorenko into the corner to Foligno again. Foligno fighting off Shaw's check, and that's going to deflect and go off Seabrook and out of play.
Nico Chalmerson, he is in some pain. Sitting here on the bench right now. Ristolainen is going to take the shot, and it's going to hit him right, looks like in the inside of the right thigh. When he goes up to try to block this, oh, it hits his left, right on his left knee. And he had difficulties getting to the bench, and he is still on the bench trying to move that knee around a little bit. He's in some pain.
Roll behind the net now. 2 minutes after it. Paletta gets there first to Ellis. Ellis with a nice move to kick it free. Now gets it back for Schaller. Schaller behind the net. He's trying to get away. Ellis comes up with a takes his shot right on. And cleared in front of the net again. Back to the point, but intercepted and brought out by Sharp. Sharp slides it in over the line. Bumped by Zadora. Twisted around behind the net. Bogosian steals it away, and his pass goes to center ice for Schaller. Schaller had a bust down low into the corner. Rundblad chases after him. Flipped around behind the net, way too far for Ellis, however, as Buffalo was in the midst of a change. And it goes to Sharp, who hits the Sabres line. Works it over on the other side. The shot just fired wide by Richards, and play has been called, and we're going to have a penalty coming up here for slashing.
Zadorov's going to the box slash. He got Johnny Oduya right in front of the Zamboni entrance. a look at it here if we get it. Watch 51 Zadorov come down, slashes the hands of Oduya, breaks the stick. Oduya slides off into the corner. Chicago back on the power play, 0 for 2.
And Oduya's over at the stick rack, looking for a new tool of ignorance. Clear it all the way down the ice now. A little over 2 minutes to go here in the second period. Brought on by Keith for Shaw. Shaw halting, then sends it across ice. Hossa keeping it in there to Saad. Back to Keith. Going to set up a screen shot. He elects to give it to Taves. Taves, top of the circle. He takes a shot off the goal post. Round on the board. Speared free to the blue line and tipped down the ice by Giunta. And Giunta and Foligno will go off. Kaleta and Ellis come out in their stead. Taves into the corner for Shaw. He whips it around on the boards, but there's nobody home back at the point, and it goes all the way into the Hawk end. Less than a minute to go on the penalty. Less than a minute and a half remaining in the period. Duncan Keith takes a peek. He drops it back. And then the Hawks to try it again. Worked in, around on the boards, and that's going to go high and into the mesh and out of play. The Bandits square off against the New England Black Wolves on April 4th at First Niagara Center. Bandits will be celebrating 80s night throughout the game, so dust off your leg warmers. Join the party tomorrow night. For tickets or more information, visit bandits.com.
Chicago power play. This is the closest they've come so far. Wrist shot, short side by Jonathan Taves off the post.
And they've got 35 seconds left to work in that short-handed situation. Brought on to center ice by Sharp. He gains the Buffalo line. It's tipped back out into the Seabrook with a shot, and that one is fired wide of the net and goes out of play.
Sharp's getting up off the ice after the Seabrook shot, and he is talking to himself.
He's all right.
Yeah, because I think that shot just went blistering right by Patrick Sharp as he was coming from the corner of the net.
He might have been counting his blessings, yep.
Yeah, shot comes and there it goes right off him.
Kaleta trying to jam the puck free, but the Hawks managed to keep it in at the point with Sharp. Tips it back and now swung over to Seabrook. Seabrook takes his shot, deflected right in front of the net. Ellis got it to the line, but not out. And rolled around into the corner again. Buffalo returning to full strength. Hawks keeping it in. Long shot. That one is punched wide and comes off the glass after Chalmerson let it go. Chicago keeping it in the Buffalo zone. Digging back after Richards. He flipped it on into the corner. And it's going to be picked up now and brought away by Zadorov. Zadorov dealing it in and heading off on a change. And Chicago recovering the puck with only 5 seconds remaining in the period. Duncan Keith elects to diddle around in his own end and kill off the remainder.
Much better period by the Buffalo Sabres. Got their feet going, not backing off quite as much, not allowing Chicago to dictate play. Sabres being much more aggressive and out-shooting Chicago 12-1 in the last 3 quarters of this period.
Well, also, we mentioned at the top of tonight's game that the Hawks lead the league in shots on goal. Well, they know it now. It's 27-24 Buffalo.
Sabres Hockey on MSG is brought to you by Northtown, the official automotive dealer of the Buffalo Sabres. That's selection and savings to the nth degree. That's Northtown. Units, Western New York's only organ, eye, tissue, and community blood center. Injured? Don't wait. Call 8. Call Solino and Barnes, Western New York's largest personal injury firm. The Gates Vascular Institute, building a healthier future. Eaton makes it easier. Brought to you by Kia. Visit BuffaloKiaDealers.com to learn more.
Okay, I've opened the door for my love of Grigorenko tonight. Now I'm going to lobby that he should have gotten an assist on this play. It wasn't fielded cleanly by the Hawks. Ristolainen ultimately takes it, and then Marcus Foligno deposits it in the back of the net for his first in 24 games and his first in 4 games lifetime against the Hawks. What it does is it gets Buffalo right back in it. Here's our Vein Treatment Center summary. Visit them online at veins.com. Key numbers: 0 for 3 on the power play for Chicago. That's pretty darn good penalty kill that we've seen the last 4 games. The Buffalo power play, while 0 for 2, has still generated 7 shots on goal, which is continuing a trend of creating more chances. And the scoring chances are even at 10 apiece right now. And you can see that Zach Bogosian may well crest over 30 minutes once again. The Corsi number, almost identical to what we saw in period number 1. What does that tell you? Second period was pretty good for Buffalo. Even up basically with the Hawks. They've now got the edge in shots on goal. Scott Darling's been excellent in net for the Hawks tonight as he continues his terrific rookie season. And we see now the breakdown of puck possession as far as zone time is concerned and what you're doing with it when you have it. This is where the Sabres have still trailed throughout the better part of the game. Chicago's spending more time in the zone, and when they're in there, they're possessing it a little bit more. But we know this, it's up for grabs right now. Brad May, give us one thing to look for.
One thing to look for, they got to get in on the forecheck and take away Chicago's breakout. It's fast, it's speedy. Got to get in physically.
We'll see you next on the Lexus postgame report. RJ and Razor for the third.
And we are ready to begin the third period. Penalty boxes are empty. Taves will face off against Larson. Larson scooted it back, then tried to roll it to the boards. Giotto flipped it ahead, but it's picked off by Chalmerson. Chalmerson's got it again and whips it out to center, knocked down by Ennis, who could not control it. Strachan to Bogosian to Strachan. He whips it through the middle. That'll be deflected in by Larson. And around behind the Hawk net, Chalmerson got it up on the wing. Bogosian tried to move after it, but the Hawks bring it back in over the line with Hossa sending it across ice and kept in there with a nifty move by Chicago, but it's broken up and the Sabres will come up with it again. Versteeg made the move to keep the puck alive, but couldn't get after it then. He was lying on the ice, and Chicago going back after it with Rundblad. He kicks it ahead for Keith, who sends it on to center ice. Taken back by Buffalo, offside. And I'm a little bit surprised they didn't call an intentional offside.
Now the Sabres have to pick up where they left off in this second period with their legs going, generating opportunities down low. But they got good chances from their forecheck. First period, not aggressive. Second period, 2 men going, finishing checks down low, which in turn gave them opportunities. They got to carry that over here into the third period, work on these deep.
Cleared in now. Sharp couldn't catch up with it. Lindback is going to hang on to it as Sharp just kept sailing right toward him.
Now, good decision. He looked up to take a look to see what his options were, and he didn't like any of them. So quickly he realized Sharp was coming down on top of him. Freezes the puck.
Richards winning this draw for Chicago, getting it back to the point. It's whipped in around behind the net. Mazzaro scooping it for Delorier. Delorier then dumps it onto center ice. Grigorenko's pass goes over on the wing. Foligno flipped it, didn't get it. Now here's Grigorenko, put it right out in front. And Delorier couldn't connect on it. Chicago to bring it back again. Shoveling it in deep is Vermette. Poked back into the corner. Vermette comes up with it again. Gets muscled off the puck, but still chasing after it is Ristolainen's right behind him. Work back into the corner. Hawks keeping it in the Buffalo end. Now it's steered across ice. Sabres start out. They hurry up. They're going to have a 2-on-1. In over the line for Delorier. Delorier getting around Richards. Busts around behind the net. And Chicago recovers and brings it back in the other direction 2 minutes into this third period. Timonen steering it up on the wing to Saad. Saad gets in over the line. His teammates are changing, and he flips it back to the point, and the shot doesn't make it through. Bickle keeping it in there. Benoit steered it in behind the net. Goes into the corner, is scooped along the boards, and taken away to center ice. Got in over the line by Baroni, who took a stiff jolt from Shaw. Back in the corner, Baroni still fighting for the puck. He got it around to Delphi, and got away from him. Picked up by Chalmerson. Chalmerson fires a long pass ahead to Bickle. That one misses, but there's not going to be an icing call. And it's flipped, but not. Oh, they said it came out over the line. Kruger thought he kept it onside. Sabres want to say thank you to all their fans this season with Fan Appreciation Weekend. Tune in to MSG broadcasts on April 10th and 11th, and you could win a suite for a night or season tickets for next year. Visit sabres.com/fan appreciation to learn more.
Yeah, they're giving away a ton of stuff that last night.
Are they ever?
I wonder if we're eligible.
I doubt that very, very much. Nor are we, will we?
I need a new car.
Oh, I know that. I'm on board with that. A long shot. Darling plays it off into the corner. Schaller spins it around to Ellis. Ellis trying to get away in the corner as a clutch put on him by Rindblad. Came right beside the net. Schaller couldn't step it in the short side. Long shot knocked out. Schaller another whack at it, went off the leg. Strachan holding it in. Sends it into the corner, but it's picked off by Kruger. And whipped back to center ice again. Up on the wing. Dished in by Ellis, who heads to the bench. Taves fired at the center, intercepted by Gionta. Gionta in over the line, loses control. Darling tips it up on the wing. And it's taken back and sent across ice by Versteeg. Versteeg chases after his stick and says, what the heck, I'll stay out here. Now he goes after the puck in the corner. It's bumped off it by Mazzaros. Chicago tried to hold it in. It jumps up in the air and goes back to center ice again. Chalmerson flipping it away. Kept in by Buffalo. Kick back. Here's an opportunity in front of the net. And there's a penalty coming up here to the Hawks. Lindback is headed to the bench in favor of the extra attacker. And the Sabres will try and move it out again with Ennis. Ennis coming through center. He got away, waiting at center ice, finally lost control, and Chicago is shorthanded on a tripping penalty.
Timo Timonen.
He was already at the penalty box.
Yeah, he realized he was in trouble and he just wanted to cut down the skate to the box. Watch Brian Gionta. There, a nice little kick pass behind his front foot. Johan Larsson. Larsson tries cutting to the front of the net. Timonen comes across, takes him down. He's trying to get himself in a better spot. I would have been suggesting to take that shot. You had Tavares on the far post. In turn, he hung on to it, trying to get himself to the front of the net. That's when he got hauled down. In turn, not getting a chance from it.
Back to the point, Ennis. Works it to the side. It's cleared right on. Darling makes the save. Around to Ristolainen. He tried to clear it in front. Came back to the blue line and out to center. And the Sabres will take it back from side. Gionta steps in. He gave it away. And Larsson covers up. Ristolainen flipped it ahead, but that's picked up. And Buffalo having difficulty getting anything going now with the man advantage, taken away by Desjardins. And his shot will be right on. Lindblad to save and recovered by Ristolainen. Getting it up on the wing. Back through center ice, Larsson. Swings it around behind the net with Foligno in the corner. Back to Larsson, now to Ristolainen. Ristolainen punches it down low. Larsson into the corner. Gionta swings it back to Ristolainen onto Ennis. Ennis, Ristolainen one-timer and scores! Ristolainen with the shot. Darling got a piece of it, but not enough. And Buffalo has tied it at 2 on the power play.
Yeah, the shot from Risto is going to be tipped in front by Johan Larsson. And he just kind of reaches out. Ennis moves it across the Ristolainen, and this shot. Watch that right there. Larsson just leaning out with his stick. Is able to get his blade, or maybe even the shaft on it, redirects it, and this puck is going to come back through into the net. As you see, it just goes up and under the bar. And they're tied at 2.
Buffalo overcoming a 2-0 deficit, and now the Hawks called for icing.
As simple as that, just getting the puck through. Johan Larsson maintaining position and in front. Take a look at it right here. Gionta to the point. Risto to Ennis, back to Risto. And then just a nice redirection by Larsson in front.
Keith sends it on to center ice to Saad. He'll get it in deep. Lindback drifts it around on the boards, and it's taken away by Baroni. Baroni on the wing to Hodgson. Back for Baroni in front of the net and deflected right in front of the net. And a great opportunity for the Sabres as Delphi darted in there. Now Chicago getting it back again with a pass went through center. Missed everybody. It's icing. And the Hawks aren't too happy about that because they're running out of gas, the ones on the ice.
Now, one thing very noticeable here, that the Chicago Blackhawks defense allow the Sabres players to get to the front of the net, and they're not challenged. They're not physically challenged. The Chicago Blackhawks Ds are trying to use their stick to maneuver the player out, tie up the stick or something, but they're not using their body to push the body.
Mazzaro's shot was deflected by Delorier just wide. He falls in the corner, trying to get back up on his feet. He does, but the puck went behind the net. Foligno stole it back, and now Chicago with Saad coming up with it. Saad gets the center, scoops it in on his way off. Mazzaro pass to Ristolainen. Rips it across ice. Brought in by Delorier, and his shot is going to be pinned by Darling. 13:21 remaining. We're in the third period. Buffalo battles back. It's tied at 2.
Sabres Hawks tied at 2, 13:21 left in this third period. You talk about wanting the guys to play mean and nasty. Andrew Shaw tries tying up Delorier. Look it, he just barrels through. He's got his arms going. He takes him right in the head, but he battles his way through. Shaw goes to the bench. He's thinking, doesn't know what to do, but he just sent a message. You're not going to tie me up. You're going to play mean. You're going to play nasty, and that's what you want to try to send to any team that comes into this building as you move forward.
Well, the Hawks to get it out as far as center ice, and it's rolled in by Mazzaros and back after Ristolainen. Ristolainen trying to get free behind the net. Being chased around by Teravainen. Kaleta out to center. Taken out of the air, but broke it up, and Kaleta couldn't hold up on the offside. And Kaleta and Kruger say, hiya.
Our New York State Smokers Quit Line trivia question. Who was the first NHL team to have 6 30-goal scorers in one season? The answer, the 1974-75 Buffalo Sabres. Rick Martin led the way with 52, followed by Rene Robert, Gilbert Perreault, Don Luce, Danny Gare, and Rick Dudley.
Pretty good at putting the puck in the net that year.
Not bad group.
Fired around behind the Buffalo net on into the corner. Bogosian shovels it back. And Strachan comes up with it, but doesn't get it out. It goes back into the corner again. Came right beside the net and dribbles just wide of the post. Tip back to the point. Held in by Rundblad. Now across ice it comes. Long shot, misses. Strachan slaps at it, and finally it's guided ahead and brought out to center ice. Drifted across ice. Keith to Rundblad. He got it up on the wing, and the pass goes to Taves. Taves whips it over. Here's Versteeg's shot that goes off the skate of Bogosian. Roll it back into the corner. Ennis takes it away to Bogosian. For Ennis. Ennis straight down the wing, and now slips it over to Larsson. Larsson will tuck it in deep and head off the arrest. Chicago trying to get it out of there again. Richards finally fires it through center ice. Picked up by Vermette, curling in over the line. Back pass, deflected away. Sent around on the boards, recovered by Buffalo's Delphi, but he can't get away. Now he gets it up ahead for Veroni. And Veroni has his stick held by Sharp, who's got away with that baby. Roll around on the boards again. Buffalo keeping it in there. Back into Veroni in the corner. Veroni got it in front, and the shot just wide of the net. A great opportunity for Buffalo with Hodgson. Zadorov. He looks to move it. And he got it as far as center, but it's intercepted and brought back in by the Hawks again with a shot that he flicks right in front of the net. There's the rebound. Another whack at it. It goes to the corner. Hodgson digs it free and gets it along the boards and eventually just out over the blue line. Timonen. They come on now for Chicago. Timonen's backhand. And it's cleared into the corner to Benoit. Benoit fires it around on the boards. Misses everybody. Down the ice. Coming back icing.
Now Chicago here in the last couple of minutes trying to put some type of a push on. Sabres once again in this third period doing a good job in their own zone, just keeping everything outside. They've only surrendered 4 shots to Chicago in this third period.
Bang it on into the corner. Hawks keeping it in by getting it back to the point and sweeping it over to Keith. He's rolled it purposely wide of the net, trying to play it off the backboard. Shaw gets a bump from Lindback. Cleared around and held in by Foligno, who gets it across ice. Out to center, Delorier capped it ahead. Foligno tried to pick it off, can't do it. It's brought back in with a quick shot, and Lindback is going to hang on to that one. And Foligno with a little extra bunt on Pickle, but they're not about to do anything with only 10 minutes remaining in the third period and a 2-2 tie.
Now Lindback's doing a nice job just slowing this game down. Sabres are doing a good job not giving up that great quality opportunity when guys do get into a position for a shot. They're doing a decent job taking that time and space away or getting their sticks into that shot lane, making it a little more difficult to get the puck through.
To the point it comes. Oduya holding it in. Steered in deeper by Teravainen. And around on the boards. Kick free on the wall. Left for Teravainen again. He tries to get free and he takes a shot, but that's going to find the glass. And back into the corner. Teravainen gets knocked off the puck now, and the Sabres cleared ahead for Kaleta, who chips it inside the Chicago line. Going back, Chalmerson. For Oduya. Up on the wing, Teravainen to Taves. Taves works in deep. Taves around behind the net. He's still got the puck. Taves digs back into the corner, leaving it for Timonen. Timonen floating it around, trying to work it to Versteeg. Went all the way to the boards in the corner. Gianna couldn't reach it. Hawks keeping it in. Osa's shot, gunned it wide. Timonen keeps it in there. Well, Buffalo getting it back again, and it's scooped out to center, but jumps over the stick of Larson. Cleared on to Versteeg. Versteeg to the Buffalo blue line, whipping it in. Hossa knocked it free. Came back to the blue line, kept in there, bouncing puck is recovered by Bogosian, but he can't get it out. Hossa takes it back again. Versteeg picks it up. Oop, that was a mistake. Bogosian lowered the boom. And they have words now, and now Bogosian goes over back after Versteeg, and they're both going to go. Well, there might be a little more coming yet. Versteeg trips up over somebody else's stick trying to get at Bogosian. I don't think he wanted to get there.
You're right.
I don't think he wanted to get there. 8:46 remaining here in the third period. It's all tied.
Hawks tied it to 8:46 left in this third period. This is going to be what happened. Versteeg's crushed by Bogosian. You see Versteeg slap him, slash him from behind. And then Bogosian goes across and gives him a cross check, puts him down. But the thing was, there was no penalty called on the original slash that Versteeg made on Bogosian. And when Bogosian went across, cross-checked him, the referee stepped in and gave them both penalties.
A little 4-on-4 action going on with 8:46 remaining in the third period. Keith swings it around behind his net. Gets it back again. Dennis watching him, so it's flipped over to Chalmerson, who gets it to center and all the way down and handled by Lindback. He'll steer it off into the corner. Pass for Strachan. Strachan to center ice. He rolled it in over the line, but now has to retreat to his defensive position. And the Hawks trying to bring it out again with a pass that finally eventually ends up on Saad's stick. Finally, eventually. And it comes now to Keith. Makes a nice move to maintain possession and take his shot. Screen shot is right beside the net. struck and stopped it, and he's hurt. He's trying to get back to his feet, and he does. Back to Keith again. Keith holding it in. Swings it off. Dumped over to Saad. Saad leaves it at the point. Kept in by Seabrook. Seabrook to Keith. Keith winds up. Cross ice to Seabrook with a shot. Right on. And Lindback grabs it and hangs on to it. And Shaw gets dumped. Make the right decision. Insist on Karuba Collision, the official collision repair centers of the Buffalo Sabres. Well, Haas is feeling it tonight. Haas Bogosian gets a hold of Desjardins in the corner. Whoa, down he goes. Bogosian didn't waste any time whatsoever. Up to that point, Andrew Desjardins was throwing his body around very effectively.
That's a big reason, I think, why the Sabres are in this game. They've been physical from start to finish and have got the Chicago Blackhawks off their game a little bit.
Ristolainen trying to pull away as he brings it out of his own end. Drop back for Gionta, had to wait for it. Now to Ristolainen. Gionta will try his luck. He gets to center, Sharp keeping an eye on him, but Gionta carries the puck, flips it in front of the net, the backhand, they score! Marcus Foligno, his second of the night, and Buffalo's in front 3-2.
Now Marcus Foligno just using what he's got, and that's power. Second goal of the night, 8th of the season. And as they move up the ice with Gionta, he's just going to take his body, drive through, grabs this puck, hangs on to it. Seabrook, once again, that's twice tonight, where Seabrook has been so easy on the guy in front that he's just overpowered. And Foligno's able to find that puck off the rebound and put it in. Same thing happened on his first goal. Seabrook trying to tie him up with his stick, and he wasn't able to.
That goal comes with both teams a man short. As they remain, Taves flips it back into his own end, and Rundblad will hustle back after it. Handed off the boards. Taves trying to get it out of there, and he does. Taves coming away and over the line. Leaves it for Saad. Saad stops, shoots right on. Lindback kicks it away. Ennis whipped it around behind the net. Kept in by Rundblad. Back to the point, but intercepted and knocked out to center ice. Ennis coming in over the line. He drills it across ice to Mazzaros as the penalized players return. Ennis trying to scoop it around the boards, but it went behind the net, and Rundblad comes up with it. Distracted, tipping it ahead. Hawks are changing. Here comes Delorier with a shot right on, and Darling makes the save. And back to center ice again, and it's drifted in by Buffalo. Darling scoots it off into the corner. Seabrook took a bump from Delorier. It came to the blue line, picked in by Buffalo. Delorier, and then Grigorenko fanned on it. Grigorenko trying to hold it in there again. Got it to Delorier. Delorier sweeps it in front of the net, but it didn't get as far as Foligno. And it's brought back by Chicago. Richards in over the line. Richards works his way in, took his shot, and Lindback just looked it right into his glove and hangs on to it. We're down to less than 6 remaining in regulation, and Buffalo in front, 3-2. Save brought to you by your local Toyota dealer. Toyota, let's go places. Anders Lindback sees Brandon Saad one-timer, and Lindback comes over to make a huge save to keep Buffalo at that point in the game. And now the Sabres have taken the lead 3-2 here in the third period. Taves and Larson again on the face-off. Larson falls. It's a false start for everybody involved, and Larson gets tossed. Well, Gionta's in there. But Taves wins the draw and gets it back to the point. Work to Saad. Saad hangs on to it, trying to find an open man. Still has the puck. He shovels it on into the corner. Taves whips it around to Hossa. Hossa going back in behind the net, fighting for it. Bogosian takes it away and gets it up on the wing. Ennis scoots it in over the line. He chases in after it. Darling flings it around on the boards. And it rolls to the blue line and is kept in by Ennis. Ennis shovels it in deep. Larson tried to steal it away. Finally, it's tapped around by Rundblad, not out, and now it comes to center ice. Whacked right back in by Strachan. Both teams hustling to make changes. 5 minutes exactly to go here in the third period. Puck flipped through center ice, but taken away by Baroni, who gives it to Ristolainen. Ristolainen chases after it once more. And launched by Richards. Ristolainen pulling free, though, from Sharp and comes back through center. Works it in over the line. Trying to get the pass back to him. Ristolainen still in there deep. And kicks it on to Hodgson. Hodgson trying to get away. He's still battling along the boards. And he's still got the puck, but now it's recovered by Chicago, and Chalmerson sends it through center and all the way into the Buffalo end. They rule it. Mazzaro's to the plate at no ice. Back in behind the net. Flipped ahead and on the center for Delorier. Delorier pumping it in and chasing in after Seabrook. Goes around to Tiemann in the corner. He got it to the line, but not out. Chicago getting control again. Kruger leaves it there. Pass comes to center ice. Return to Kruger. He charges on into the Buffalo corner and puts it behind the net. Teravainen takes a long shot. That doesn't get through. Kruger's got it again out in front. That comes across ice to Teravainen. He'll keep it in there by sending it back into the corner. They jam around on the boards, held in by Shaw, but he can't control it. And it's going to be knocked out to center. Well, Seabrook starts back again. 3.5 to go here in the third period. Keith swings it to Taves. It was in his skates, but he neatly picked it up and brings it in over the line. Took his shot. It goes wide of the net. Hossa holding it in there. Hossa on to Taves again. Hossa in the corner, getting away from Mazzaros. Dumping it back to the point. Held in, and a shot by Rundblad right in front of the net. I don't think Lindback saw it until the last second. Finally scooped out to center ice, and Hossa picks it up once more. Leaving it to Keith. Keith rolls it on to Taves. Taves in over the line, around behind the net. Taves looking for an open man. Back to Keith. Takes his shot and ripped it wide. And it comes around on the boards and is picked up. And Giunta is claiming there should have been an interference penalty called against Keith, but was not. Keith's got it now with 2.5 to go in the third period. Chicago trailing by 1. Passes to Sharp, who can't control it. Keith been out there a long time. Finally flipped across ice, and Saad sends it up on the wing. Hawks bring it back in. It's fed in and bounces off the mesh in behind the net with 2:09 to go in third period.
The official First Niagara Sabres debit MasterCard has arrived. Stop by your local branch or go to firstniagara.com/sabres for details.
They'll drop the puck in the Buffalo end, and Shaw will take the draw against Grigorenko. And wins it. Down on the board, so Duya misses it. Down the ice it goes. It's coming right back again.
It's Miller time. Brought to you by Miller Lite. Tonight's Miller Time Moments brought to you by Marcus Foligno, ending a 23-game scoreless drought, scoring the Sabres' first and third goal here tonight.
Now the puck is going to be scooped right into the Buffalo bench by Ellis.
The other guys had a big night. Rasmus Ristolainen, 3 assists. And this is his first 3-point game of his career.
Well, the Hawks make another change, sending Sharp out to take the draw against Grigorenko. Sharp winning it, getting it back to the point. Held in by Seabrook, but stolen away by Strachan, who got it off the boards and out of play again. 1:48 remaining in the period, and the face-off deep in the Buffalo end.
Sabres Sabres just got to make sure off these draws they realize either tie them up, win them.
There goes Darling to the bench.
Yeah, 148 left. This is getting that extra attacker. So right now, more important, Johan Larsson taking this draw against Jonathan Toews. He's got to at least tie it. Give these guys an opportunity to gain control or get the puck along the boards or in the corner and start battling. You don't want to let them win it free.
Chicago keeping it in with a shot right on the rebound. Right in front, they score! Shoved into the net, and the Chicago Blackhawks with 1:43 on a goal by Toews have tied the game.
Now, we talked about it right off the draw. You do not want to lose the draw clean, and that's exactly what happened. It establishes the shot from the point. Shaw's in front battling along with Toews. I think Shaw's going to get the first opportunity. And Jonathan Toews finds it as Johan Larsson does not get him tied up. And Toews is able to sneak it right underneath the arm of Lindback to tie this game here with 1:43 left. That was a 5-second play.
Tucked in by Desjardins into the corner, struck it. To get away, Desjardins took a shot that got blocked by Larsson, and it slides behind the net. Bogosian gets it up on the wing. Brought in by Gianta on the other side, and a shot is knocked down and cleared off the boards. Hawks bringing it back with Desjardins. Slings it over for Thomerson. He'll get it in deep. Chicago elects to make some changes. And the Sabres try to take advantage as Ennis brings it back and rips it in. A minute remaining in regulation. Bounces out to center ice again. Larsson going after it. In front of the net. Here's Chicago. The chance. They score! Toews again. Toews, the captain of the Hawks, picks it up and rips it home to put Chicago in front 4-3 with 55 seconds remaining.
Now in less than a minute, Chicago scores 2, and Jonathan Toews is the man that does it. And right here, just a nice little drop pass. He's able to skate in. Saad drops it, wrists the line and not able to get to Jonathan Toews in time to get underneath the stick to lift it up. And he just beats Lindback, glove side, up top. And there's 55.2 seconds left.
Jonathan Toews with 2 goals in 43 seconds has tied it and put the Hawks in the lead. Now it's rolled back into the Buffalo end as Lindback was trying to get to the bench. Icing was waved off, and now he'll head to the bench as it's cleared on to center ice. Out and over the line to Ristolainen. His shot gets blocked. Tipped out to center again. A race for it. Here's Toews getting in front of Hudson, or trying to, and the 219s battle for it, and it goes behind the net with 30 seconds remaining. Up to center. Delpy flipping it ahead. Darling plays it around on the glass. Does not get it out, though. It's kept in. Ristolainen's long shot. That gets knocked down by Chalmerson. Chalmerson tried to steer it ahead, but Ristolainen fell and landed on top of the puck. And it's brought back in by Buffalo. Rolled in beside the net with backhand. Darling makes the save. Chopped around to the board. 4 seconds to go. Back to the point. Long shot. Kicked away. Goes to the board. And Chicago wins it 4-3.
Now Chicago came out very strong in the first, disappeared for almost 2 periods. And then you see why Jonathan Toews is considered one of the greatest players in the NHL today. When he needed to do it, he stood up, he carried his team, and he scored 2 goals to tie and put them ahead. And the Sabres lose a tough one here in the last minute.
A flurry of scoring in the final seconds of play, and that ends up being a Chicago victory as the Sabres head on to beat the New York Islanders on the island tomorrow night. Let's go to Brian and Brad.